Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Don Castaneda here again. In this episode, I'm going to speak about red team operations. Once again, I'm a cybersecurity analyst. Everything I'm doing here is ethical and legal. Um, First of all, as a red team operator, which is a legal job and career in cybersecurity, which is pen testing, legally allowing you to find vulnerabilities in systems by trying to hack into systems, break into systems, and patch vulnerabilities, create security solutions, and implement and enhance security. So, first off, I'll talk about if I was red team, but I was truly malicious and I was really in another country or on the dark web, or if I'm just malicious, crazy little kid in his grandmother's basement, just messing around with computers, and I'm just really just autistic, some sort of autistic savant or something like that. If you know what a savant is, it's basically someone who's potentially autistic, mathematical genius, photographic memory, can do rapid math calculations in their mind in a matter of seconds, very quick, rapid, right? And so those people they work for usually the government. I've heard they work for the NSA and stuff like that because they find them, they know who they are, they catch them at a young age because they get diagnosed with doctors and stuff like that, and the government finds out about them, and then they just end up working with computers and with the NSA and stuff like that. So unless they're really truly mentally handicapped to where they can't function at all, they can't. That sometimes it just depends on their situation, circumstances, and the level of their abilities and capabilities, and also the level of their disabilities, right? So, but if I was truly malicious, here's rootkits, right? I would look up rootkits. There's rootkits full list of GitHub. You can go on GitHub, get a list of rootkits, and if you remember Mr. Robot, uh, that's an episode. It's a Netflix series, and the first episode or the first few episodes, there's a rootkit in the systems and the servers, and Mr. Robot, I forget his name, but he finds it, but he leaves it in the system for some reason, and he starts getting involved in stuff, and he's really schizophrenic, and he's seeing voices. I'm sorry I ruined it for you, but that I would look up rootkits, and then here they are. Here's the list. If you can see my screen, right? List of rootkits, right? You can download these, go into code, cloning this right here, cloning it, throwing it in your terminal in Kali or something like that. And there's also, if you click on one, right? So I'll just click on the first one, right? So here, all these rootkits. This is a lot. There's a couple pages, and yeah, that's a lot. So, what it is, it enables persistence in a system, similar to, I guess, it's kind of like a backdoor to where, you'll get access, and there's so many confusions between like rootkits, beacons, and things of that nature. But it's going to enable persistence and backdoors and all that stuff, and you'll be able to maintain access, and it's very difficult to detect, very difficult to delete, and sometimes you can't delete it. Sometimes you have to get rid of a whole server rack or something like that, right? Sometimes you have to get rid of your hardware and destroy it, incinerate it, and get new hardware. Sometimes it's impossible. Basically, experts have trouble deleting rootkits sometimes. So, this is all for study and educational purposes. Let me click on the first one, and you'll find stuff. They want you to contribute, and usually it gives you like instructions. Kernel mode rootkits. That's pretty dangerous right there. Usually there's instructions. You'll find it contributing. Like README or something like that. So click on that. Awesome environment, core capabilities. Uh, So, do more research. If you have any difficulties getting this on your system, just make sure you do this in like a virtualized environment, in a sandbox, so it doesn't, mess up your system, and you can just delete it or restore it, and it'll be good as new as if anything happens, right? So what also I would do is I would get these rootkits and I'd start sending them out, through phishing emails, uh, breaking in systems using Nmap, scanning ports, using other tools to hack into those open ports that might have weak passwords and stuff like that, and weak security, weak protocols and things of that nature. Uh, I'd be getting in systems one way or another, right? Uh, Putting these rootkits in, and maybe even physically pen testing, right? You can put it on a USB stick if you have physical access to a device. Pop that USB stick in, put the rootkit on, walk out like it was nothing, and then like you're IT or something, right? Some people might think you're IT. You're just gonna work on computers. You're an auditor, something like that, right? You could be dress up as a janitor, stop just cleaning, taking out trash, and then you're really, putting USB sticks on servers and computers and uh, extracting a lot of data, or putting rootkits and beacons and backdoors and stuff like that. So that's ethical hacking as a legal pen tester, penetration tester, right? Ethical hacker. Um, so you can dress up as pest control, all sorts of stuff, right? Have the real gear. It costs money. There's got to be IT budget if you can afford it. Um, you could look as professional as possible, right? Have a lot of connections where it looks legit. Have some fake paperwork so it looks legit. Uh, then I will go to command and control, right? C2. This is C2. Command and control. And I would start looking at these frameworks. Bishop Fox Sliver has a very good one. It's competitive to Cobalt Strike, and I'd be using as many as possible to figure out which one is the least detected, which one has the most capability to bypass detection, and to avoid surveillance and to remain undetected in systems for months or years, so I could extract as much data as possible and sell it on the dark web. Sell it on the dark web, get some money. I'd be using DDoS. I'd be using DDoS in companies and threatening them, saying, if you don't pay this Bitcoin wallet in Bitcoin, a few $1 million or something like that, then I'm just going to keep DDoSing you, and you're going to lose a lot of business. You're going to lose a lot more, tens of millions or billions, if it can be like, a huge company, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft. Sometimes they get attacked, but they're pretty good at defending against that kind of stuff. But other places, people DDoS, all sorts of websites online. They lose a lot of business. So sometimes they're willing to pay a ransom if it's reasonable, or they just use DDoS guardians or load balancers and things of that nature, and multiple servers, so they have so much bandwidth, uh, stuff like that. So I don't have a whole lot of experience with, defending against DDoS. I don't have botnets. I don't have access to botnets. But if you go on the dark web, you get access to a botnet. You pay for it, right? You pay to rent a botnet. That's just like millions of computers that send packets to a company and take up all their bandwidth and all of their resources, and it becomes offline, right? It'll just drop it offline, and it basically DDoSes it to where they can't function because it just kind of breaks down. It's too much data. It's too much data. It just overloads it. Uh, so that's red team, right? That's one way to do it, right? Hackers, they do multiple ways of ransomware. They'll do ransomware if they don't pay, then the company will get DDoS next, and they just get DDoS, and now they really still can't function. Uh, so it's ransomware, then it's DDoS, and that's where companies run into a lot of problems, right? And with these command and control, that's going to give you, like, once you break into a system, hack into them, whether it's phishing email, social engineering, or other methods, right? Brute forcing and things like that. Brute force attacks, which is like breaking into someone's passwords and things of that nature. SIM swaps, phone SIM swaps, where they get the one-time password and they're able to bypass that. Uh, Command and control is like, it's gonna give you access to other systems and computers in an enterprise environment, or banks, or Fortune 50, Fortune 500 companies, and it's gonna let you command and control everything in there. You could encrypt everything as a red team. You wouldn't do that, but as a malicious hacker, yeah, you'd encrypt everything. Uh, you'd extract all the data, encrypt all the data, and then you would demand ransom payment. You demand at least $1 million usually in Bitcoin, and we'll talk more about that later. Here's all these command and control on GitHub, just for study purposes, open source purposes. Personally, I don't really trust them because I think they could be like, it could be a setup by FBI or police or something like that, government, other hackers just trying to, they think they're doing the right thing. So they put some fake stuff up here, or, usually on the dark web, you might find something more powerful, or, so you could really get scammed on the dark web too. It's always a risk, but test it out in an environment, proof of concept, POC, proof of concept. Test it out on your own home network, in your own virtualized environment, sandbox environment, and see if it works, and see if you can bypass detection, see if it messes up your system, see if there's any irregularities, or malfunctions or anything of that nature. So there's a whole lot of, you got a whole lot of options when it comes to pen testing. Then I would go to Cobalt Strike as an ethical pen tester. I'd start a company, which I have, Cybersecurity Consulting LLC. I'm the owner of Cybersecurity Consulting LLC. Just started that recently, and that, I guess you could consider this a little bit of free consulting, free training. For those who are new to it, a lot of people in cybersecurity space are going to know this stuff. It's just intermediate knowledge. Not super basic. It's intermediate. There's probably stuff that's really crazy advanced. That would be the hands-on, actually performing this stuff with experience. Since I lack a lot of hands-on doing this stuff, using these tools, because they're expensive, and I haven't been hired by a large enterprise or company or bank or anything like that, then to me this stuff is intermediate. So I would get requested pricing, right? Cobalt Strike, it's about $3,000 a year, I believe. So I've reached out to them. I'd use Cobalt Strike. It uses a beacon, and it's like a heartbeat, right? It's a heartbeat every minute, or once a day, or once every couple hours. It sends signals back to the command and control, back to the hacker, and it lets them know stuff that's going on in there, things that are happening, things of that nature, giving them information, sending a beacon, right? Letting it it's still alive, and you still have access to their system. So when you want access, you could just activate it, jump in, sneak in, evade detection, steal the data you need to, encrypt everything you need to, get the social security cards, get the credit card numbers, get those addresses, everything you need, right? To use identity theft, jump into like identity fraud, taking out mortgages in people's names, credit cards in people's names, selling that information on the dark web, making that money. And a lot of times in other countries, they do make a lot of money this way. Some are probably really successful. Others are just like forced to do that kind of stuff, and they probably just doing it just to eat and get by. So you never know, right? So, but it's still wrong. It's still illegal. You still have to protect yourself. To them, it's not wrong or illegal. They're just trying to survive and feed their families. But for us, it's like, well, we have to defend ourselves as best as we can. So we'll talk more about defense later. Mainly, this is going to be like a red team video, red team operations video. Then I will go to Fortra, right? Oh, you'll see right here, it's $33,540. New Cobalt Strike licenses, right? Per user for 1 year license. So that's not too bad, right? But that's still kind of, even though nation state actors, this is the most widely used nation state actor tool, right? And North Korea uses it, Russia uses it, China would use it. They have what do you call unlicensed versions on the dark web that they've it kind of like jailbroken, or what do you want to call, like they're unlicensed, right? Jailbreaking, or routing, right? Routing, where they've just got access to it, but it's not legit. You could get a virus yourself. You could, if you get it off the dark web, an unlicensed version, they could attack you. It could be a false copy, stuff like that nature. But if you're risking it, it might work in certain networks and hacker gangs. If you have that level of trust, you have that reputation that you are a legitimate hacker on the dark web, and you have a reputation in a cyber gang and stuff like that, and you have status and respect, you might get a good version. And you're gonna have to pay, just like you pay a percentage to the people who taught you, pay a percentage to the people who gave you access, and that's what ransomware as a service is, right? You give them a percentage, large percentage likely, and you get a percentage yourself because you did some of the work, and they helped you. So it's an equal trade. Then I would go to Fortra. I'd go to Fortra, right? Fortra bought out Cobalt Strike. All right, so Fortra, they bought out Cobalt Strike. Some people, it took me a while to learn about this, but I'd go to products. I'd go to, so never mind. I go to solutions. I go to security bundles, right? Where's bundles? Services. Let me look up products. View all product bundles, right? And this is going to be the most powerful out of everything on this site, right? Cobalt Strike. You're just going to add some technologies, right? So you're going to add some more offensive security bundles. They have the offensive security essentials, advanced bundle, security elite, red team bundle. But the advanced red team bundle is going to be one of the most advanced. And it has core impact, which is a versatile penetration testing tool that targets vulnerabilities in different vectors across an IT infrastructure, including networks, people, web applications, endpoints, Wi-Fi, and SCADA environments. That's critical infrastructure, industrial control systems, and operational technology. Newer pen testers can get up to speed with automated testing capabilities, while advanced testers can increase efficiency and output by automating routine and repetitive tasks. Key features include rapid multi-vector tests, core certified exploits, self-terminating agents, remediation, validation, reporting. Then it has Cobalt Strike, which is post-exploitation, covert communication, attack packages, flexible framework, OST, which is outflank security tooling. It's kind of like going to scan everything, I believe, right? It's built for performing in mature and sensitive target environments to efficiently simulate evasive techniques currently used by advanced persistent threats and other cyber attackers, right? Evasive movement, tools for every attack stage. Tools for every attack stage. I believe it uses the MITRE framework, right? And continuous evolution, knowledge sharing, and community, right? That's about $26,000 a year for a license. I called them. I interacted with them. They said you got to have a company, work for a company, be legit, probably have security clearance, things of that nature, and it's going to be like probably $27,000 or $28,000 a year now for a license, because that was a few years ago when I called, and maybe last year, and now it's probably around $27,000 a year or something like that. So then I will go to I look up Burp Suite, right? If I'm a malicious hacker, I'm on the dark web, even ethical pen testing, right? I'd go to Burp Suite. I would I would get the professional version. I pay for it. It's like $300 to $500 a month, something like that, right? Not too expensive. Enterprise is a lot more expensive. It's going to be thousands of dollars. Here are the solutions. Here you can have an academy, right? It scans web applications, websites online. It'll scan it for vulnerabilities. And if you find a vulnerability, you could go to Web Security Academy, look up that vulnerability. It teaches you how to exploit it, right? These little bugs are exploits. And if you can't find it still on there, you could research it, use AI, and do a lot of research, right? And how to exploit this exact vulnerability, stuff like that, right? Um, then I would go to OWASP Zap, right? This is also let me go back to Burp Suite, right? I'd go to solutions, products, never mind products, and let's see here. And here's the professional Burp Suite professional version, right? You can try it for free. Otherwise, it's $449 a year, I believe, which isn't too bad, right? So you could buy it. Uh, you gotta list everything, company, organization, all that stuff. $449. I believe that's a year, hopefully. Not too bad. Enterprise for enterprise environment, that's a lot more expensive. Thousands. Uses automated dash scanning, right? Pricing. So that's going to be for, you can scan a whole lot more. It gives you a whole lot more power, probably a little faster, stuff like that. So OWASP, then I go to OWASP Zap, right? That's going to be, it also scans websites and can attack websites as well. So automated scanning and potential attacking, which basically means like potential exploiting. It's really the top 10 vulnerabilities of websites, SQL injection, things of that nature, cross-site request forgery, things of that nature. So you could download it, run it in Kali, likely. I would also get Kali as a red team ethical hacker. Download Kali in a virtual machine, which is recommended. You can do it on mobile. I believe you can start using Kali on an Android, on a phone, right? And Kali Net Hunter, I believe it's called, right? Net Hunter app you get from the App Store, Kali Container, Android for Android devices, right? Mobile pen testing platform for Android devices. You could walk in places just with your phone, be like, la la la, I'm talking on my phone, this and that. You're really doing some damage. You're hacking, and that's pen testing, right? If you're legally allowed to do that, if you have consent and authorization. So here's the virtual machines. Go there, download what you need. VMware, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, whatever you're using. And if you're new to this, you'll figure it out. Go to a course, figure it out. Take some courses online. And anyone else who's already into cybersecurity, you know what I'm talking about. So this is really a project portfolio to show my skills and knowledge and expertise and what I'm familiar with. Then I'd go to Bishop Fox Sliver. Bishop Fox Sliver, look that up. It's an open source cross-platform adversary emulation red team framework. Very powerful, probably a little more powerful than Cobalt Strike. There's a learning curve. You got to practice a lot with it, learn about a lot about it, and do a lot of research. There's some training on it. You can try to find some training. You might have difficulty, but you'll find stuff. You could get it on GitHub right here. So I'd click on that, download it, upload it. And where you'd find training is going to be in here. It's in the GitHub wiki, right? So the wiki for a quick tutorial on basic setup and usage, right? I'd click on that. It's a command and control framework, right? Similar to command and control frameworks we talked about before. That's going to give you, once you hack into systems, and infect a system, and put it, install it in a system. It's going to give you command and control access to be able to do what you need to extract information, monitor, and potentially encrypt systems. So here I could go to aliases, antivirus evasion. It's going to give me some information, external resources, antivirus evasion. Armory can tell me architecture, high level. It's a little bit of general training, right? C2 advanced options gives me commands to use, things of that nature, proxy password, things like that, DNS, C2 advanced options. So it's going to give me a basic rundown. Here are the tutorials. That was documents. Click up here, go to tutorials, getting started, beacons versus sessions. This course is intended for the 1.6 version of Sliver, which is not yet published. Okay, so you just wait till they publish the correct version. But download it, generate beacon, right? That's one of the main commands, generate beacon, localhost, and figure this stuff out. You might have to replace some data, but you'll generate a beacon, right? And then once you do that, send it in a payload, generate a payload with that beacon, send it out in a phishing campaign or other methods, right? Use a little bit of social engineering, act like you're the IT department or the CEO or something like that. That's what people do, right? So HTTP payload staging, pivots, scripting, assemblies, and BOFs. There's going to be some basic, decent training to get you started. Those are the tutorials directly from Bishop Fox Sliver, directly their company and organization, to help you understand. And that's the C2 framework, right? For adversary emulation, red team operations. Then I'd go to ransomware. Full list, you can find stuff on GitHub. Obviously, you could use the dark web as well, if you want to go that route. But if you're ethically hacking as an ethical pen tester legally with consent and authorization, you're not usually probably not going to the dark web unless the company requests that, right? Then here are all the ransomware, malware. Here's RATS, which is remote access Trojan, giving you Trojan information, and giving you ransomware tools and like Lockbit, things of that nature. That's a powerful one. CryptoWall, Petya, Radamant, all this stuff, right? Monster V2, Trojans, right? Trojans, there's a lot of them. There's 24 of them. So you can join the Discord server, communicate with them, and get some training, maybe pay for a little bit of knowledge and mentorship and guidance. But To do this on your own, you can support them right there. But you clone the repository, write malware samples. This is how you get started the usage, right? Clone it, GitHub, bam, throw that in your Kali Linux terminal, and use the password infected, and start using the appropriate tools, right? Use a controlled environment to prevent any unintended consequences, right? So here's going to be the samples. Here are all these tools, folders, and code, I believe, right? So there's Jigsaw, right? Here's one Jigsaw, and that might be pretty good. There's a zip file. So, I'm not going to click on too much stuff. I don't mess around with a lot of this stuff really personally because I'm not trying to mess up my computer or get flagged by the FBI or anything crazy like that, right? I don't use this stuff personally because I'm not working for a company, but if I did, I'd be like, well, this is what I can do. This is what I know of. This is what I'm doing. This is how curious and inquisitive I am. This is how goal-oriented I am and meticulous and methodical. This is what I know how to do. And this is how I'll organize and orchestrate an ethical pen test evaluation, right? An assessment. And then I might use, but if I was malicious, right, I'd use something like Tails. I look up Tails. The website is tails.net. I believe it might have been a different site before, like Start Bonum or something like that, Boeum, but now it's tails.net, which there might be other ones out there that are similar, right? Other blogs have the same information, but I click on that, and then it's a portable operating system that protects against surveillance and censorship, right? There might be a picture of Edward Snowden right there. He used it. They uses Tor, EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation. It's about freedom, and it's about really freedom and protecting against surveillance and censorship, right? You could throw it on a USB stick, avoid surveillance, censorship, advertising, and viruses, secure computer anywhere, free software, digital security toolbox, and that's going to be a very powerful tool to give your system amnesia if you're ever doing anything online, ethical hacking, whatever, and trying to avoid detection by the government or anyone else, right? So with that, you'd also want to use an Electrum wallet, right? Tails Electrum. This is where you're going to throw in your Bitcoin money. I talked about this before. Exchanging Bitcoins using Electrum, right? Backing up your seed, fixing a corrupted wallet, recovering your wallet from its seed. And so that's going to be your passphrase to give you access to your private keys, which gives you access to the blockchain, right? Okay, so recovering wallet from a seed. So once you jump into Tails, you'll see it. It's almost like you'll figure it out. It's not too difficult to learn how to use. But if you do mess up, that's not good. You can also regenerate and create new wallet addresses. So every time you receive money or send money or something like that, you can generate a new address so it's more private, more anonymous, right? There's more security that way. Okay, so nothing's 100% safe, but that gives you a lot more security, right? Even from the government. So then I'd use stuff like Shodan, which gives you access search engine for the internet of everything, right? World's first search engine for internet connected devices. Discover how internet intelligence can help you make better decisions. That's going to give you access to ICS, industrial control systems, OT, operational technology, and also things online, the Internet of Things, right? Smart devices and things of that nature, right? You might go to Monitor, sign up now. You could get let me see here, more Shodan search, right? Visit the website. So you can pay for a version, right? But I forget exactly where you go, but you want to look things up. You can find what ports are open, maybe 527, something like that. You might have to type in port. I might have to have an account, right? So I forget the ports, but that's a port, right? So it'll tell you what is open on that port, right? So then I could click on, let's just click on, where's that from? Spain, Madrid. Let's click on that, right? Just to give you an example, right? Open ports 161. So I might scan it for vulnerabilities, things of that nature. Figure out that's in Madrid, and that's a Cisco system. It looks like UDP, stuff like that. So, I've gotten access to like cameras before, which is like legal. I don't know if it's still legal, but not using this site. There's other sites that give you access to like national traffic camera, just traffic camera, looking at traffic. I mean, it's on the news and stuff, but You can do stuff like that. Look at traffic in your area, stuff like that, right? See if there's what's happening. See if there's crimes or something like that, right? So, uh, and just to do a quick search, what port is 527? Port five. I might have got the port wrong, right? So what I was trying to, and there's other sites, transmission control protocol, UDP, uh, something else. Let's look up Modbus. 502. I guess I got that wrong, but so 502, right? That's going to be what ethical hackers might inform companies or governments and things of that nature that these systems are open. There's a lot open in the U.S. 326,998. A lot open in Germany and China. If you don't know what Modbus is, it's a application layer messaging protocol positioned at layer 7 of the OSI model. And that's how hackers and ethical hackers might break into ICS and OT, industrial control systems and operational technology, right? Critical infrastructure. So you have to make sure it's secure. Using a zero trust architecture, network segmentation, privileged access workstations, which and also like device health attestation, and obviously powerful antiviruses, powerful next generation firewalls, next generation antiviruses, things of that nature, right? And intrusion prevention systems, definitely, right? That's what's going to be included in next generation firewalls. So there's a whole lot of stuff that you can implement, a lot of security, zero trust architecture, using a FIDO2 key, biometrics, iris scan, fingerprint scanning, smart cards, one-time passwords, things of that nature, right? So you want to be as secure as possible, especially when it comes to critical infrastructure like hospitals, uh, power plants, electric grids, and water supply systems. Why they're not? It just costs a lot of money. The government doesn't really. They're lazy. They don't have as intelligent, cybersecurity experts that they need. There's a lack of qualified experts, and there's a high demand because of the lack of qualified experts. People just this is a difficult job, and there's so much to learn. It's always evolving. There's so much new things to learn all the time. All right, so then I go to Hack5, right? Hack5.org. I get some ethical pen testing gear, right? This is gear. Sometimes they're out of sale. They're out of sale. They're out of stock, right? Because they sell so much, they're just out of stock. But Pineapple Wi-Fi, it'll let you pen test in a Starbucks cafe or coffee shop. Getting access to other people's computers on the public Wi-Fi. These are chargers that are fake. It just steals your information. Rubber Ducky, it uses keystrokes to inject code in systems and gives you access. It'll send it to the command and control and stuff like that. Steal data, whatever you're doing, right? You could program it. You got to learn a language. Or you could, obviously take tutorials, use AI, things like that. I believe they have courses teaching you how to script and stuff like that. Here's a bash money. Something similar, more expensive, probably a little faster, more powerful, right? So, it's quad core Linux box and USB stick, mimicking multiple trusted devices to deploy advanced pen test and IT automation payloads, right? So some of these toolkits, you might want to get a field kit, right? So look up products, look up like a field kit. Here's an essential, elite, and red team field kit. And this will give you like a few tools, right? A little more expensive, but it gives you like, here's an elite field kit. And that might be, it might be out of stock, but if they are in stock, it's about $600, right? $600, not too bad. Comes with hot plug attacks, on-site implants, Wi-Fi pen test. It's a little field kit that you can easily sneak in a briefcase or a backpack or something like that, maybe under your shirt, and just take it in the restroom at a banker location or whatever organization, and start hacking from a bathroom stall if you have to, right? There's other ways to do it, but who's going to go in there and see what's going on? No one. Not unless they really know, like security might, but for the most part, they probably wouldn't know what's going on. So, you can watch tutorials and things like, okay, I'm not a bot. Yeah, sometimes it gives me that, but let me go back. They'd have essential field kits. Some might be less expensive, right? Gives you less stuff, but it still can be powerful, right? I'm not going to sign into my account right now, but then I'd go to drones, right? If you're in the big city, there's skyscrapers. You could climb a skyscraper, go to a hotel, something like that, set up and do pen testing, right? And fly these drones out into these skyscrapers and start hacking in people's smart devices, smart fridge, smart microwave, smart whatever, smart coffee maker, things like that, getting access, right? Some people get access through the HVAC system. An old attack in Target years ago got attacked. Target got attacked and lost millions, from an attack through pivotal movement, lateral movement, right? They pivoted from the HVAC system, from the AC outside unit into the network, and they got a lot of data, credit card information. I believe they got that Target got damaged for millions of dollars, right? So here's trusted and approved drones, securing freedom across the globe. These are okay, right? And they're small, so in high windage or higher elevation, the wind might affect the drones more. So here's another one. These are more expensive, $15,000 for a drone. That one's actually sold out. Some of these are sold out, but they're bigger. They might be able to withstand wind a little bit better, right? The turbulence and stuff like that. So here's going to be smaller drones, less expensive, but they're not out of stock. This one's in stock. These are sold out, but this one's about $3,500. It might be more powerful, longer battery life, things of that nature, and be able to withstand wind a little bit better, right? So these are pretty good, $3,000 refurbished, stuff like that. So that you can go to this website, DJINYC.com. Yeah, you could look for different ones. You might be able to find some at Best Buy or something like that, right? So even Amazon, right? So and then I would go to there's Modbus. Then I'd go to like exploitpack.com. And this is legal right here. This is not even illegal. I forgot a T. Let me put a T in. Nope. Exploitpack.com. This is legal next generation offensive tools made by hackers, security professionals, right? And this gives you C2 control pack, right? And also offensive security control pack C2 framework, right? That one's about 1 year license, almost $1,000 in euro. It's going to give you ransomware capabilities, right? DLL based for red team operations, phishing campaigns, DL agent, netcore agent, Python agent, in-memory agent, all this stuff, web-based plugin agent for Chrome, simple reverse shells, things of that nature, right? And the most powerful things it can give you is zero-day exploits, right? There's like 30-something thousand zero-day exploits that this framework can give you access to, right? So that's going to be exploit pack. Let's see what that shows up. From my research, right? Try it now. A set of 39,500 exploits and zero-day exploits, implants and post-exploitation modules, right? That's about $1,800 for a year license, right? Updates, online training, technical support. So that's in euros, might be a little more in US currency, but that's going to be very powerful, right? Monthly zero-day exploits from our lab along with video tutorials. So if you want an ethical pen test, this could be a good tool to put in your toolbox, right? Your toolkit. And as a malicious hacker, I might even use this too, right? Because how are they going to catch me? How are they going to know? And if it works, it works. It might just be easy. Cobalt Strike is a polished up GUI, like a graphical user interface. This might give you a graphical user interface instead of just typing in commands in the terminal. But either way, it's more proficient, efficient, easier to use, more user-friendly, potentially. I haven't used this one, but Cobalt Strike is easier than like Sliver using commands in the terminal all the time, right? Because you could just click on like exploit, here's the system, scan these ports, things of that nature, phishing campaigns, click of a button, right? Just engineering, right? Clicking on stuff. Not too much coding, I believe. The code runs in the background. When you click on something, code runs in the background. That's how powerful a click is, right? You do some real damage. You click on zero-day exploit launch. You might just click a launch button. It launches a serious attack. You can launch a botnet attack, launch a ransomware attack, launch all these command to framework attacks, adversary emulation, 0 days, all that stuff, right? So that's why you know what you're doing. If you get caught and you're competent and and you know what you're doing, you're intelligent, and you're not insane, you're not going to no insane asylum, chill and watch TV all day and just hang out and just have that level of freedom, right? You're going to federal prison, man. You're going to federal prison, and it's gonna suck ass there. That it's not gonna be good, right? You might freeze. Some prisons don't have heaters in the winter. People freeze during the summer. It gets super hot. People die of heat stroke. Your teeth are gonna get infected. You're gonna get sick. The food there sucks. It's trash. You're gonna be malnourished. You're gonna get probably bullied, right? Bullied, beat up, stabbed, maybe all sorts of violence, right? Emotional, psychological, just it's terrible, right? They say it's horrific. So you don't want to go there, don't want to get caught, don't want to get caught. But instead of going thinking like that, you just don't want to do this stuff in the first place unless you're working as an ethical pen tester, right? Okay, so that's where I'm gonna go with red team operations. That's the video I'm gonna make for now. We're gonna talk about defense in the next video. I'm going to do my best to try to give you information on how to defend against a lot of these kind of things. But if I was malicious or ethical hacker, or if I'm a dark web hacker, I'm going to use a lot of these tools, right? They're going to be in my tool belt, right? Like a evil Batman, right? I got that yellow tool belt, and these are all my tools, right? But I'm not using it for good, right? I'm traumatized, or maybe I'm poor, or I'm starving or malnourished. I got to feed my family. Whatever reason I'm doing it for, if I'm malicious, then you got to look out for that kind of stuff. If I'm ethical, you don't have to worry too much. I have authorization. I'm going to help patch your security vulnerabilities with my company, Cybersecurity Consulting LLC, right? And I'm going to beef up your security, right? Advance and enhance your security. And we're going to talk about that in defense, which is blue team, in the next video. Try to put something good together for you. Tools and technologies, ideas, concepts, theory, things of that nature. Once again, I'm Don Castaneda, a cybersecurity analyst, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, do everything ethical, take care.